Great. And I want to start. Welcome to the 5th session. And as usual, the logistics at the beginning. Who wants to pass on the space holding for the HP dojos? Alice is arriving.
I just want to remind you and Christine and everyone that I was traveling, so I didn't take the space for this current week, but I'm holding space on Sunday.
Yes.
And I will post the link in time in there tomorrow.
Super. So the weekend is covered already. Yes. Great. Are there some possibilities for during the week? There were some shifts in the timetable, but this was this week. So what about next week, Monday or Tuesday, or even Thursday? It's like whenever.
And this week is covered, yeah?
Yes, I think so. Sandra, you're offering the space, right?
Yes, I have offered the space on last Tuesday.
It was Tuesday. Okay,
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yesterday.
Great.
Yeah. And
so will you pass it on?
I could offer tomorrow because next week I will be with my family and this will not be possible for me.
Volker, the second part of the information is actually not really helpful for us. That you are with your family next week. So you could offer tomorrow, I hear.
I could offer tomorrow. Somehow there is a noise and Scott,
Yeah.
you are somehow there is some noise in you.
Is it Scott? Yes.
Scott, will you turn the fan off? I know what it is. It's that fan in our room.
Yeah, I muted you.
Yeah, I can offer tomorrow, but not next week.
So it's about next week.
Okay.
Sandra, will you pass the stick on? Will you ask your question?
Yes. Who wants to hold space next week on Monday, Tuesday, or Saturday?
Okay, then it looks like there is no necessity. There are 2 dojos next week, one on Sunday, one on Friday. And again, a reminder for you, Scott and Sydney, if you want to also be part of an EHP dojo on Friday, let me know, and then I shift the time to the evening.
Is it going to be this Friday? Or are you speaking to the next Friday or both?
It's up on request.
Okay, I would like to be a part of an EHP dojo with you next Friday.
Next Friday. Okay, so I'm gonna check my calendar and let you know. Great. Super.
Christine, will you post it in the group? I'm also interested.
Yes, yeah. As soon as I think it will be probably around 5, latest 6-ish.
Yes.
European time.
Yeah.
Great. So then, anything
and this
else?
Friday, it's in the morning. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Like CET.
It's at,
okay.
Yeah, morning 8:30 CT. Great.
Is there anybody interested in have a dojo tomorrow?
Yes.
Yes, and it depends on the time.
When is your availability?
Yeah, thank you. I prefer CET evenings. Like early or like afternoons.
4 o'clock, 4:30 is the latest I could offer.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you do this?
Yes. 4:30.
Great. Thank you.
For me, it doesn't work. Yeah.
For you, this doesn't work. But
yeah.
What work for you?
The morning from 8:30 to 3 p.m. Yeah.
Okay, we will talk PM personal messages, okay?
Yes.
Okay, and that will be on Friday in the morning.
Yes.
Cool. Super. Anything else for logistics? No. Then the space is closed. So today we are here for questions, exploring together, harvesting the group intelligence, what worked, what did not work, what are the challenges about coaching so far? What are your questions you're bringing in?
I have a few questions.
Go
And
ahead.
The first one that this one is like not so much related to coaching. I mean, it is, but it's also just like a personal thing in regards to low drama, high drama. And it's just something that I've been looking at a lot and asking, like, what is the distinction in my own expression and also receiving other people when like anger, when is it's just, yeah, what is some of your thoughts around the distinction of expressing? I'm having a hard time distinguishing, like, is that high drama? I think I can really notice if it's low drama, like if it's just so obvious that it's like victim, persecutor, rescuer type of expression, whether it's from me or even receiving that. But sometimes I'm like, I can't tell, like, when there's like a responsibility and like just taking a stand for something or expressing your anger. It's like there's sometimes it's like I'm having just trouble scanning if it's like there's like sometimes I'm like, is there a tinge of low drama there? And even in myself. So I just want to talk about that and hear if you have anything to offer around how to, one, just what is more distinctions, and also noticing that in clients and in other people, and how to even bring that distinction more forward if I need to with a client or with myself.
Yeah, thank you. Is there anything? Of course, I have something to say, but I want to first check. Is there something you discovered regarding this? Okay, when is it actually high drama? How are you detecting? This is what I would translate. How do you detect when it's high drama? Is it like this, Sydney? It's like what are the reference points you can notice? And it's not about ticking off a list, but still it's like what are the indicators of high drama? What are the distinctions you discovered?
Are you asking me directly or the whole group?
No, it's like
Yeah.
I reframed your question, but is it
Okay.
this what you're pointing to? This is what I got from what you shared.
Mhm.
And bring this as an open question, first of all.
Yeah.
Okay. Any thoughts about? Because every day you're checking, right? Like, is it low drama? Is it high drama? How are you detecting yourself and then also in others? When I'm on track, what are your indicators? On track of evolution, not of a repetition of the past.
I mean, go ahead.
Volker, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if I will answer this question directly because I only can see what is going on in myself, or I have maybe even a similar question. I recognize when I want to use my anger to say something to someone and to point out, let's do this, and how I go into an emotional anger, and I don't really recognize how I fall into these emotions because then there is something else behind what I don't recognize.
And what do you do then? Okay, it happened. It happened, and then
It happened, and we had a meta level discussion afterwards, and I could find out there is a lot of emotion inside. And
And
then I
then?
decided I wanted to also work with his emotion. I couldn't go more into it in the very moment because the person was kind of frozen and not up to change anything or do anything about the situation.
Hmm. So I think you already like mentioning the distinction. First of all, you turn, like something happened, and then you turn around and check what was the purpose. I think this is the main indicator. What was the purpose and what are the results? Other results are actually low drama. The result of low drama is the person stuck? Is the process stuck? Is it chaos? Is there confusion? Is there did you produce low drama? I think this is the best reference that I can give. Like I'm checking afterwards. Actually, you can only do it afterwards when you are not yet clear what your purpose was in the beginning. Or if there, what Volker, what you said, sometimes you have the intention, of course, to hold space, be present, but then the emotions are sneaking in, or the patterns. This is why we are doing exactly this, to sort out again and again the layers, what are actually blocking from free flow, from that evolution is happening. And I figured it again and again out when it was kind of too late afterwards. I realized, oh, that did not work because I was confused. I was stuck. I was pushing too much. I was holding back. I was having an assumption. I was not sharing this assumption. I had expectations. I was pressuring, or I did not use enough sadness, anger. I was not listening to my fear. So there are these different indicators what you can check what actually blocked you from being this space, and that the forces of nature do their work. And everything what is actually blocking is low drama. It's you are partly repeating a pattern. Even there is already a stream going through into the space and something is shifting. Definitely, it's not like nothing is moving. Of course, life force is moving again and again, but it depends if something is really going into a new space. So for me, the big question is what is the purpose? And if you're clear of your purpose before, then you have it. If it already happened, check your purpose and then sort out what you said, Volker. Check, is there an emotion? Is there a construct which is blocking me actually from being with my client? And then do your process, mimetic engineering process. We will go a bit later on the journey into that. Different kind of emotional healing processes. So you take care of that, and then you next time you will have more choice of having a clear purpose, right? Like turning around the camera around again and again and seeing, okay, it already happened, but then you catch yourself earlier and earlier. As more layers you're revealing and unpeeling yourself, as more present you can be with reality.
What I also found out was that I once in this beyond repair journey, I really got into emotional anger. So I wanted to point something out, but then there was also a lot of emotional anger, and I was really ashamed when I watched the recording. But in the other hand, I also felt joy that I just could do it because I got feedback from the others during the session, and I didn't even understand what they were saying. And when I was watching the recording, I understood the feedback. So it's really also an observation of myself doing something happening, some emotion happening, that I just have my own distinction about it.
Yeah, and it's so valuable. It's
Yes.
because then you're meeting reality actually. You see what was really happening. But from your adult perspective, it's like, wow, this is really me. What what was operating me? I was like, wow. And then you can shift, but only when you see it, you can shift.
Mm.
If you experienced it and you're not seeing it from the outside and really see what was happening and noticing, that's why we are practicing noticing, scanning first ourselves and see and get and yeah, peeling the layers off. Because if not, you're sitting inside of the forest and you are the forest, everything, like you only see the trees, right? There's a German saying. I guess. And this is exactly what then happens when you're within it, you don't see it. So afterwards, to reflect back, turning the camera around and watch yourself, that's super important. And you can even do this during a client session. And then, hold on, there's something going on. Something triggered me. I'm checking in with myself, and maybe you say, okay, there's an emotion. I'm reminded on my mother. So I will put this on the shelf. And then you do a conscious move and you put it on the side and say, look, or you grab your beep book and write it down and say, this is on my list. And then you are a role model for your client. It's like, wow, even as space holder, like we are no machines. We are humans. So, and then you say, okay, whenever you're ready, move on. The worst thing I discovered, or like at the beginning of my space holding, when I was triggered and I was hiding it, yeah, I created drama. I created not the reality, or a different kind of reality. I was trying to hide myself, the emotion, the trigger, the hook, and then then I started to navigate the space out of the hook, out of this I want to force something, or I want to play nice, I want to keep a poker face, even I'm super touched, and then you're actually not there. You're hiding behind the mask, you're hiding behind, yeah, pretending, whatever, however technique you invented. So at the beginning, be bold, and I can tell you it's so liberating. It's a revelation to be bold enough to say, look, this is just happening. I'm triggered, or I'm so touched, and sometimes I'm even crying with clients, because it's also when it's really touching something within me. Of course, I let it through. And I said, I got tears in my eyes, or I'm getting really angry, and my anger tells me this and that. Right? And so, yeah, be bold and bring also this in. Any other thoughts regarding low drama, high drama?
And in a private situation, at that moment, I realized I say the first time, you did, da, da, da. This is for me the start of the low drama, because it's, yes, Not, I don't speak from me, from my heart, my anger, my fear, my sadness. It's like the beginning of Beschwerde in English.
Just
Compliance,
complain, yeah.
complain, yes, to complain about the other person.
Super
And
helpful.
when I speak from my anger in high drama, my 5 bodies feel the same, like holding space. Like in this situation, to hold space. I sense my other bodies, my physical body. And when I'm in low drama, anger, I sense nothing at all as my anger in my head.
Sarah, you said when you are expressing from high drama, it is this the feeling is the same as when it's holding space, when you're holding space for someone.
Yes. I feel, I don't know, I think every space holder has another impression of holding space, but in my case, it's like my back is open. There's something like wind, a warm wind. And when I'm losing this feeling, it's an indicator for me. While I'm holding space, I think about what's the next step. And then it's like closing. Yes. To be here, not with the space behind me.
Thank you.
And when you're in a discussion, sometimes I check my feet. Do I feel my feet or do I feel my hands? So that I come back in my body and back to my own space. And also I do it in while I hold space for clients. So when, yes, I'm getting on a hook of a story, I come back on my seat. Yeah, here I am. Here's my center. From here, next step on.
Who just checked in when Sarah was proposing her approach? Checked in with yourself, with your body. Who did this experiment?
Yeah.
You can always do it again and again. Another indicator what I have is when I see something else is possible, and I don't have I don't have an aim which I'm forcing, which then I have an agenda, and that's an indicator for me to go into the direction of low drama because I insist and I have a story and I want to prove it, or the high drama quality for me is when I'm sensing that I have a puzzle piece to the conversation. Even it's in the coaching, but also in private conversation when I know I'm a part of a bigger picture. And it's more an orientation, an energetic orientation to make space and put, it's like I'm putting myself like me also into that space. And it's not this, there we go and I want to go there, but I'm I'm an ingredient in the soup, so to speak. And we are cooking the soup together. And this is also the doorway to collaboration in the high drama, where you notice that you are holding when you hold yourself back, this causes a stagnation of the flow. Holding back is again low drama. And if you're kind of greedy with yourself, when you're make yourself visible, not loud enough, not strong enough, not tall enough, then you're in the low drama survival strategy. As soon as you're putting yourself in as a collaborator, as someone who takes a stand, and then something can also orientate around you. Sometimes you need to put the flock in the center and say, look, this is what I'm standing for, and then this is your part of a collaboration or for an offer. That's also what you do with a proposal of an experiment with your client. It's like, this is what I'm proposing. It's not I tell you to do this. I demand you to do this. That's low drama again. And but you're offering, you're inviting. I think that there we have it also with Sandra, when you propose like I give permission. I think this has been there. We are. If you think you need to give permission to something, or you need to ask for permission, and it comes with different flavors, then this is low drama. If you're offering on taking a stand and bring proposals and bring something into the center for negotiation, then these are driving forces for evolution, and that's high drama. When something is really, something else is possible, becomes possible because you're not insisting, you're not forcing, but you're allowing it to happen. That's also space holding. Space holding is to know which context you are holding and let it unfold or let it emerge. What wants to emerge.
But allowing, is it not the same as die Erlaubnis geben?
No, it's a different quality. If you give permission, then you come from this approach, I tell you now it's possible. And it energetic, do a research, Sandra, on yourself,
Okay,
especially with like my noticing in the energetic is that when I'm allowing myself, when I allow others, I'm lifting myself into the parent ego state. It's almost an energetic rising in myself, and where I put myself a bit above, and I tell the others, look, it is possible, and it's not on eye level. And do your research. It's subtle. It's very subtle. It's not so obvious, right?
Yeah.
And it comes with a rule. Like the parent ego state come always with a rule. It's hooked on a rule. It needs to be like that, right? Like a possibility coaching setting needs to be like that. Then you come from a parental approach, right? If you have like an assumption how a session should be, then it's an indicator that it comes from your inner orientation of parent ego state.
Christina, I would ask for a reality check. May it's a long while since I brought in my sharing. I sense me a lot, most time in child ego state. And when I was sharing before, I also had, after the feeling, after you explained low drama in the case of holding back, anyway, I share something. I do a sharing, but I'm holding back while I do this. And after you told this, I was thinking about my sharing because I had this feeling of being in the child ego state every time I tell something. And I want to ask you for a reality check. Did you scan, when I did my sharing, this holding back?
I have another question for you.
Okay.
What happened afterwards? What happened afterwards? How did you said I thought about what I said. How did you do that? How did you thought about? What were you actually doing?
I let it pass, my remembering, and I scanned. I was very silent and inside a little like laying back, and had to push myself energetic to get to you in connection while I'm speaking, not speaking with me, speaking with you. And sometimes, yes, it feels like I say it, but the space is not connected with the others. And in that moment, I felt this. Yeah.
I would research it if I would be you, like observe it again and again. And it sounds to me that you're checking, like you're forschen, researching about it. This is how it sounds at the moment. If it goes in the
Yes.
direction of questioning yourself, like, oh, what did I do? Am I good enough? Did I do it right? Then the flavor of child ego state comes
Yes.
in.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that in this moment it was child ego state to ask, was it like this or was it like I felt? Yes.
Yeah, it would be like an invitation to check this pattern or this. It has a taste of a wall you're hiding behind.
Yes.
Yeah. So the invitation is to research how is actually are you hiding or holding back, and find out the technology. How does it look like? Is it an energetic block? Is it a technology? How is it? How does it function? How did you implement it to hide? While, of course, and while you're making effort and kind of the yeah, go in the direction of growth. It's like it's at the same time, like you're observing your patterns, but still you're growing, and you go further. But still, yeah.
Yeah.
Like on
Sometimes it
Friday.
doesn't feel like, yeah.
Yeah, on Friday.
I have to
promised
work
you.
on Friday in the
You have to
morning.
work on Friday. You will
Yes.
not be there. Okay.
No. The afternoon, the week after, I will be with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question, and if I have understood it, what you told, if I'm asking me if it's all right what I've done, and so then I'm in the ego state, and if I observe myself and look what I have done with in my body, and what feelings were coming up and not coming up, then I'm the neutral observer.
Yeah, the thing is, and it's more like when you're focusing on becoming a decontamination coach. But the basic is that only the adult ego state is able to observe,
Okay.
right? Because the child ego state, and you were referring to the child ego state before, right? because you
Yeah.
only said ego state. Okay. The child is, or like the child ego state, when it moves in, it's a habit which kicks in. It's not, it's a pattern which is repetitive, and only you as an adult can make enough distance and look at it, because
Yeah.
this you can do in the here and now, and only the adult is in the here and now, like really present.
Yeah.
So that's why we say shift into a researcher, because this is empowering in the here and now, and only the adult can become a researcher.
And is it also like that you can only be in high drama when you are in the adult ego state?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because for me, it is also an indicator when I am not grounded or somehow too fast, then I'm not doing high drama.
What are you doing then?
Then I have the impression that I'm on autopilot
Mm.
and that I am following, yeah, a pattern.
And it might be your box is driving.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And of course, the gremlin is the executive of your box, but it's a pattern. You're on autopilot. Like very often, who
Yes, it,
knows to drive a car, and then after 10 minutes you realize, oh, who drove the car? I was like, damn it.
mm.
Yeah. So it's also good to have a box sometimes, and these are then the car is driving safely. and still it's the box then, or this is how it sounds. But make your research, and then the box is protecting you for survival. Yeah. And you're producing not high drama. You're not in the high drama. And it the thing when you start with and realizing you have contamination, then of course you have the contamination. At the same time, you have a bit of space of adult in yourself. That does not mean you can not produce in this with this little capacity high drama, but the I would say the time which is when it is possible, it's more reduced. Maybe you can hold it for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or an hour, and then you shift back into another pattern. And then while you're unpeeling your onion and put away all these blockages, layers, etc., your capacity of adult ego state is growing, and you can hold more and more and more. Sarah, you wanted to say something. Cut it off.
Yes. This, what Catherine said, this being too fast is like sometimes in low drama, it feels like being a machine gun and the sentences are loaded to come out. It's not like I see what is shows up in my partner or my friend or whatever, and then my reaction comes. It is like, oh, you said this, I said that, you said this, I said, like, yes, like a drama, before. Yeah.
Great. Are there any other questions regarding space holding the last weeks?
Yes.
Go.
So I'm changing topic, and for me, I also wrote it in a chat. It's really the edge of how to source paid clients. Like I notice, like I do space holding in the community or with my team, and also when I'm with friends. Like it's as if like this is how I communicate in a way, or even with my English students. And I want to go to the next step and do it more consciously and really also being bold and putting a price tag on it.
Yeah, and you know, it all starts with reaching out to not your friends, but outside to another audience. Like, did you already do this experiment to invite people for practice basis, practice coachings?
Like on the street or
The
like
proposal was to create flyer, homepage, whatever
Mm.
strategy
Mhm.
you would offer.
Mhm.
Did you do
Yes,
that?
yes, I and not for coaching. I have done this for my rage clubs, and on and off I'm working on my website, and I haven't done this for
Okay, so the
coaching of
actually answer was a no, Alice.
yes.
Okay.
The answer is
And
no.
this is where, yeah, this is where you start. Okay,
Mhm.
why did you not start yet? Like we are 5 weeks on the journey. The invitation was to ask minimum 2 or 3 clients to invite for a practice space. And what is holding you back? Like that would be the next EHP on your list. Like why are you not doing this? Right? What is holding you? What is there?
Mhm.
And the question is also now in the space. And I'm asking you, what is holding you back?
Yeah, there's I have an emotion about like what's the point? Like then I create the flyer and then
And then?
I I have resistance to post things on Facebook. Like it's and then it's the unknown. Then I don't know. What am I going to do with the flyer? Fear, like emotional fear of the unknown. And also an emotional fear of kind of selling myself, rescuing people, pushing.
I think this is a great hint. I'm afraid of selling myself.
Mm.
Who has this in a way in your system? Alice, check that. This is what we all have because this is a part of patriarchal structure.
Mhm.
This is how we were brought up. So if you're not facing this fear,
Mm.
you're stuck. Or you find other ways, but somehow it will come back like a boomerang because then
Mhm.
you are actually avoiding to sell yourself, but then you're also avoiding to get yourself out and do it differently because especially possibility coaching in the context of possibility management and radical responsibility, it's not about marketing. It's not
Mhm.
about selling. It's about sharing value. But when this is still hooked inside of you because you're blocking it, I don't want to go out, I don't want to sell myself, then you will not go out. and then you will not share your non-material value, or you will sneak around for some time. Like Mike Ramlin was very clever as well. It's like the slogan of Mike Ramlin is "I do it my way." So I created and invented things, but still I was hitting a wall again and again. It comes yeah, through the back door. Yeah. So, and the invitation is also with your 3 cell. Check in and find possibilities. Do the EHP, it's one possibility. And then how to do this? How do you create a flyer and a content which is not marketing? It's sharing your value. And what is blocking you from sharing your value and providing your value, which is actually your birthright? And you did not claim it yet. And what is holding you back from claiming it?
Yeah, thank you. And also I have a next question around it. And I think it was in the very beginning that you gave us a hint, Christina, about also using other platforms. And I'm not sure if it landed correctly in me. That's why I'm asking, do you have hints, or also the team, about using other platforms?
I've different Telegram chats. There are the Bildungsforum in Switzerland, and they posted it today. And Veranstaltungschat. I don't know, event chat. Yeah, I don't know if there are something like that for your space where you're living. Yeah, and in Switzerland, it's a homepage alternative. They haven't it's posted. I have I didn't get it anymore, but yeah, we'll do it. I don't know if there are homepages. Yeah.
So you're in Mallorca again.
Yes.
Are there
Yes.
any organic shops or vegan cafes, vegan restaurants, something, yoga retreat centers? I think
Yes.
so. Okay.
Yes.
This is your
There are
audience.
some.
They all need emotional healing processes. It's like,
Yes, that's
go there, and you can even collaborate with some yoga teachers and say, look, I want to bring the emotional part as an entry door. Of course, possibility coaching and possibility management brings much more tools, but there are ways to find the door, find the crack, and collaborate and say,
Yeah.
I want to do a session for this, and then, or I'm going to give you a free session. I want to practice with you, and then if you are if you say yes, then let's do something together, whatever, however it look like. Or go to these yoga training centers and say, this is what I'm offering, and make a work talk about coaching. What is possibility coaching for you? What is the difference? And
Yeah.
this is also deepening your own context about your idea of what is coaching and what is possibility coaching. What is the difference between the 2-phase healing and the 3 phases of healing? What I mentioned in the first session is like, we are using the triggers, the blocks, everything. We are using what is in the way to transform as a fertilizer, as a catalyzer, instead of getting rid of it to go back. So that new possibilities and new shapes of beings are emerging. So something really different is possible.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it lands because I like already feel a lot of fear and resistance. So that's the places to go.
And invite your team. You have already probably 6 people on your team for the work talk if you do this.
I want to offer something with your question, Alice. I had to go to the restroom, so if this has already been said, I'm just going to keep it short and elaborate more if you want. Is something that I practice a lot is like a launching pad. So, you know, if I'm wanting to move into coaching, or if Scott and I we offer retreats, we'll do something like a work talk could be a good example of that, or we do more than work talks, like in-person workshops where it's like, here's a taste of this, and then oftentimes there's people that are like really touched by it or sense that there's something in that for them, and then they want next steps. And so like if the coaching is something that you're wanting to do more of, then I heard you say you hold Rage Club or, you know, other spaces. And it's like, I see that as like a launching pad where sometimes it gives people that like a taste. And then I'm very much led by what I sense. Like I'll go to someone's workshop and be like, I don't even know much about this person, but I'm drawn to work with them. It's like, it moves through me in that way. And so I like to create spaces for people to kind of get a small taste of like what it could be like if we went to in another step further. And that's worked really well for me, and in the ways that I've already coached and worked with people, is having like a heartbeat in a space that like a launching pad space.
What is a launching?
Like a work talk or a Rage Club, like, because then I'm calling it a launching pad. Like someone would come into your work talk, and then they would get to experience your space and experience a taste of your offer. And then if they wanted to do coaching, then they could do that from that space rather than just seeing your flyer somewhere and not having an experience with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I want to bring also something in. I started to share non-material values with others, like astrologin. She made a horoscope for me, and I gave her 2 EHP. So we, yes, she had time to bring up, and I had time to bring up, and there was no money in this. Yeah, we had direct connection,
like an exchange.
Yes, and she had 2 sessions, and she was so touched. So she told her clients about, and now 2 of them also want to have an EHP. So you can share, yes, your clients, of course, yeah. Yeah.
This is an amazing legend, Sarah. This is a collaboration. It's not like, oh no, I need to keep my clients for myself. But she's generous enough and said, look, this is your door. There you need to go. It's not me at the moment. There, you know. And to find these great matches. And I'm not sure if you were there in the women's bridge house. They did the menu at the beach.
Yes.
So
yeah.
you already know how it works, Alice. Don't forget what you already did. Like go in a yoga center, put on your menu and say, look, this is what you can choose. And then they get a taste of you, and then they say, look, and here's my card if you want to dive more deep into your pattern. Reach out. I'm available for sessions.
But
yes,
I've often made the experience that they say, yeah, sometime I will do it, but yeah, and they didn't get it. Yeah, they don't really want to do it because they have fear to do this, to dive deep in. Yeah.
And in case, like, still it's a training, still it's a practice to open yourself up, find the words, how you invite. It's a perfect training space.
Yeah,
so you always win something, Sandra.
Yes.
Like I hear that you think you lost something.
Yes.
It was not, you did not got the right outcome. So it looks like you had an expectation.
Yes.
Yeah. And then it's like this exchange thing. So offer yourself generously.
And I want to add, we were talking about in our 3-cell, when it came up to who has fear and why is there fear to bring out an flyer. And I think what you bring out with your flyer is your love to the world. It's your presence to the world. It's not a prospect of a supermarket where you can get cheapest milk. It's what from your inner comes to this world. So anyway, where you give it, it's a present. And it's not up to you what happens with this present, but you have to bring out these presents. Your job.
Yeah.
Great. Another question. Is it, I think it's, for this question, it's wrapping up my sense. How is it in Scotland? Yes.
I was actually just speaking, but I was
Great.
muted. So
The running gag, the Scotland.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I have a question that's a little bit different, and I'm still forming the words for this question as I speak, so it may be a little bit messy, but I would like possibilities and some awareness of other ways that a possibility, I guess I'm trying to understand like what a possibility coaching session is, and if there's some sort of template for it, because, or templates, I'm sensing that it could go in infinite possibilities of directions based on the client's necessity and needs. However, what I've held space for mostly is with new clients is introducing them to the first centering, or the first position, and then to the map of 4 feelings, old and new, and then the numbness bar with experience of that, and then holding space for EHPs. And that's been mostly what I've done with practice clients. And so what I'm wondering is with this, what we're learning here in possibility coaching, and as a possibility coach, like what is the space that I'm holding for people? I know that I can create, I suppose I can create whatever I want, and that I can always respond to the necessities of the client and go into any of the tools. But I'm wondering, like, are there templates for possibility coach session of like what this is, of what we've signed up for in this training?
There is no template, Scott.
No templates. Okay.
No templates, no agenda.
Okay.
But you
And
can,
because you're meeting, like the template is actually where the X on the map of your client is where you start.
Yeah.
And of course, there are infinite possibilities. There are different kind of processes and distinctions and processes you can offer and experiments, but there's no, this is how it goes. And as we had the session about how is it with newbies, of course you are not saying now feel. You need to bridge them into into this, you know, and you meet them where they are. So where they are, this is the so-called template, or when you call it template, this is the X on the map. And so there is no agenda.
Is there a destination that's ideal that we're trying to take them to?
So possibility management is designed anchored in radical responsibility. And the game world is built to initiate people into adulthood.
Mhm.
So this is your journey. And what I'm holding space for when I'm holding space are I'm holding space for that my clients are already space holders. So I'm addressing the space holder in them.
Mhm.
So this is where I wanna. This is the arch, the arc. I'm holding space, and this is where they evolve very nonlinear and in their own unique way into this, into their own adulthood, into their own space holding, first for themselves and then for something bigger than themselves. So this is my driving force. So it's similar if you also did a Rage Club space holder training or something, that if you're not holding space for Rage Club in itself or for participants, you're holding space for the next Rage Club space holders or the next trainers for Rage Club space holders. And that's the same thing. Actually, you are holding space for the next coaches or space holders. It's like it's a different orientation. It's the space behind. You're not only holding space for the session in itself, but what will become possible after the person is peeling one layer off and the next layer off. And at the beginning, you need to land the distinctions, what you did. It's like, okay, you never know what changes in a person, even they only come once and they really get the first position. They will be differently in life. When they stay in first position for their whole life and they are practicing it, then probably their children will just intuitively do the same thing. They will copy paste. They see the person differently moving. So you don't know what actually the ripple effect is. So don't underestimate really these little things. Probably you might label them, or little puzzle pieces, but they're super important. And if someone gets the old map and the new map of feeling and only gets this and maybe comes back in 4 years and say, now I'm ready. You told me this, I did not get it back then, but now I get it. I want to start feeling. I'm at my edge. You never know what you are actually opening up in people. So don't have a goal in like an end goal in mind, because space holding is also infinite, right? So I'm connecting to the bigger space, to the potential and the beingness in the people.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Christina, you told us you would bring up the handbook of PM coaching.
Did I not do?
I
Yes.
don't think so.
And what helped me, Scott,
I
was
posted, thank you.
watching the videos on.
And Volker, sorry, I wasn't. I have.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, I want to add the question. The most important landscapes are also in this handbook, or where can I find the really basic and important one to get?
The processes. You mean the processes and the tools and the skills?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Is it only in English or is it in German too?
So far, is it in English?
Okay.
If you want to translate it, let me know.
I want to
Thank you.
just speak an observation before you speak, Volker, that I just noticed in your interaction, Sarah and Volker, that Sarah, when you spoke up, you said, I'm sorry, I'm not done. And then Volker, you said, I'm sorry. And I just want to bring awareness to that and just put it in the space. And let's see, I think I associate like I'm sorry with like good or bad or right and wrong. And I think, yeah, I think you were just.
What is your real question? Not,
Yeah. I
you
wanted
can
to
ask
just.
Sarah directly or Volker directly.
I don't
Probably.
actually have a question. I think I just wanted it to not get missed. Like I think we're in this space, we're practicing radical responsibility and just sharing, like speaking up and sharing what is present for us, asking questions. And it seemed like a child / parent ego state play. And I just wanted to speak it.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for your clarity, Sydney.
Yeah, Sydney, and another way of that Sarah or Volker can find it out on their own, because you had a question, where did that come from, right? Where did that come from that you would say sorry? That is the question you would also ask a client. Like they say something and like, okay, why would you say this? Why would you be sorry? And then Sarah can explore, and you don't give the already the thing on the plate. I'm scanning, I know it, but she could research in herself.
Yeah, what you're speaking to, Christine, is something that I'm really, I really want to practice more and become more like that's what's available more is the question. And I think I have a tendency to see the thing and like speak it. And I've experienced in times, maybe it wasn't this time, but I've experienced in myself that it seems really too much, or I have a story that it's too much when I do that. And I really want to practice and what you're bringing up. And so if you have any possibilities of just how to reorient that in my mind when I notice something, when I scan it, and instead of just like saying the thing, like, yeah, how to reorient it in my own mind so that I ask the question. Because I what I'm experiencing right now is like, I don't know how to do that. That's what's happening in me, is this fear of like, I don't know how to do that. It's like my mind is wired a different way. And I have fear about that.
So what will you do with the fear? Is this an emotional fear or the feeling of fear?
I think it's emotional.
Yeah, so this would be on your list because this is blocking you. And then you will never kind of find the real question, because there is not a real question, but there's what is going on when you say that. It's a simple question which is essential as a space holder. Even I'm already noticing, and I have a guess, but sometimes in sessions it's really important to be arrogant and be like the asshole, especially when there are so much defenses in there, and you want to kind of, it depends which strategy you're using. You want to penetrate a bit, but then you do it consciously and say, look, this is what I see, what is going on. But when there's already, like when there's a sensitivity in the space and an openness, and especially when you already see child ego state involved, it's it's important that the client really gets how it tastes, how it smells, and how it is inside when the filter comes in. And then it's about asking experiential based question. How is it for you? What makes you say I'm sorry? Or I heard that you said I'm sorry. How was it? So Sarah, how was it? Why would you say I'm sorry?
At that moment, I was not sure. I was clear enough pointing out that I already didn't finish my explaining or question or whatever. I was not sure, did I a mistake? So Volker thought I finished. I was looking for an, Fehler
So is it
within me.
like it has the flavor of, to me, like questioning yourself. Oops, did I not finish properly? Or
Yes,
oh,
yes.
yeah. So this is questioning yourself.
And
Mhm.
the story was also to keep my anger in a package. I was angry because I didn't finish. I didn't say thank you, Christine, and then that's for me the end of my proposal. Yes, and I was angry, and I hooked it with a sorry. Also,
Cool. Thank you for the research. Do you want to do a do-over?
for the whole thing,
Whatever is necessary.
Volker, I didn't finish my question, so please hold on. You're speaking until I'm ready. Thank you.
Thank you. So are you finished now, Sarah?
Yes, thank you.
Great. Thank you.
All right, then I give an answer to Scott. One more answer. I was watching a lot the coaching videos on Create Possibility website. Do you know this website?
You're muted, Scott.
Thank you. Yes, I have watched some of those videos, just a handful of them.
Okay, for me, this brought a lot of, how I can hold space. It was really touching. I felt touched. I was drawn into these processes, and I could use a lot of what was going on there for the processes I held. And it's really, I love to take this. This is so, I really can get playful with that. So amazing.
Thank you, Volker.
Yeah. And Katrin is offering these spaces on Sundays to watch together. And what I heard, the next focus is memetic engineering.
And it is every second week, it is Sunday, and every second week, it is Monday. At the moment, maybe this will change, but at the moment, this is like it is. So the next meeting is Monday for PM CET. Or 4:05.
And 12th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is the coaching training, one of the from the website, yeah.
Yes, the 100, recordings.
100 plus. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there are some explicitly about memetic engineering, and because we will soon dive into this topic,
yes,
I think it is interesting to prepare.
Super. Perfect. And I learned actually really a lot by observing and being present with space holders who had more matrix than me, and also how they hold space for me. So I booked several sessions with people who have more capacity in space holding than me, and then and who have the tools of possibility management already embodied and using it intuitively, and that worked super for me. Like back in the days, the labs were a lot not now there are a lot of chair work, but with 3 people and groups all over. Back in the days, 10 years ago or 8 years ago, there was chair work, and I think the trainers are doing it still. They are in the center, and then they are holding space for a process. And in former days, there have been labs one day, like 6, 7, 8 processes in a row, just that. And it is so helpful to see and be in the space with space holding. Like this is where I learned a lot, and of course then through practice, but to get the tools and what is possible, also how to navigate past life processes and memetic engineering and energetic blocks or brain surgeries. There's such a variety of processes, and as soon as you experienced it yourself, you can also offer them, because then you build the experience within that. So first you need to go through for example, a past life process. If you never did a past life process for yourself, how could you ever hold space? It would be kind of a mental construct. Then you would follow a template and not a possibility. And of course, it's also about opening the capacity to be nonlinear and not knowing and following where the person is. But yeah, learning by experiencing on your own. That's also the invitation to go on this path. It's not only these 10 weeks, it's a starting point and it's a kickstart. But you will collect the processes also in labs, in your own one-to-one coachings and healing processes. So you will collect them on the way. And maybe you're gonna get specialized in floor processes one day, or Sandra, she goes more in the direction of the feelings practitioners, what she said. So yeah, collect what is necessary for your own transformation.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Maybe is it possible to do 2 or 3 different processes in this team? So maybe somebody has a door for a memetic process, and you or Katrin, whoever wants or have experience with that, is holding space for this EHP, and we others are holding space silent and be with you on this journey, not only with a video. Yes.
I had this idea because last time when we in the last training we just dove into breakouts with the memetic engineering, and it was also to watch the recordings to get an idea what questions you are asking, what is the orientation, and then we open the space. And this could be an option to that I will hold space with Katrin together, and then we do 45 minutes, and then we go in the breakouts. And then you can also, and it's an ongoing practice. It's like, because the thing is, even you focus on memetic, and especially with a memetic construct, it might be that you're opening for an emotional kind of classic emotional healing process, because in the mimetic construct you have different questions to unfold what is actually going on, and still you will feel. So it's a mix between researching and emotional healing process, and it can also go completely in a totally different direction. You never know, right? It's like it would be very, can I say, when it's planned, it would be a planned thing if you say, this is now what we're gonna do, a very predicted way of approaching it. I think this, yeah. And yes, I hear you. And I think we're gonna dive in the 7th session. Like in the next session, we're gonna have a special session. I will not say what it will be. It will be a surprise for you. And then we're gonna go diving deep into the mimetic construct. We have 9 minutes left. Any other questions about your space holding?
I don't have a question, and I have some feedback for you, Sarah. Do you want to hear it?
Yes.
I noticed, I think, the second or third time that you start asking questions with the word maybe. Something like, maybe can we do X, Y, Z? And my question is like, how would it be if you just skip the maybe and ask your question and be bold with your question?
And I want to just make a break. Alice, there's one more question you could ask as a coach. First, you put this on the table, and then it's like, did you notice? Then you throw the ball back to her, and she can check in with her. And you're already proposing the experiment, which is great. This will follow. But before is this, Sarah, did you notice? Almost 3 times in a row, you started a question with maybe. Did you notice? Yeah.
Yeah,
You
thank
see,
you.
and then something is landing, and her was like, oh, no. And then she can write it down. And then you can propose the next thing. I have a proposal for you. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Do you want to do a
Yes,
do-over?
I do a do-over.
Go ahead.
So, Sarah, the last 2 or 3 times you started your questions with the word maybe. Did you notice?
Yes, after you told me. Yes.
And my proposal would be to experiment with just skipping it and just going with your question.
I think I use it because it needs a lot of time for me to get an English sentence like it will be understood. And with this, maybe I try to get time. Yes.
Yes, and I hear you. How would it be for you to do the experiment and still just skipping it, even though it's English?
I will. I try. Thank you.
Yes.
I have an feedback and coaching again. Because Alice, you ask, and it makes really a difference. You ask, how would it be for you? And Sarah, you were already answering because you are a great possibilitator. You said, yes, I will. But actually, this was not Alice's question. Alice's question, how would it be if you would skip it? Alice, you did not ask, will you do it, Sarah? That would be, then Sarah would say, yeah, I will. You know? So even Sarah gets it because we are in the context. But if you're with clients,
Yeah.
they need clarity of you. They
Yeah.
really need clarity of you, that you be precise. You give them an offer. Will you do that? And then they can say yes or no. And when they start a story, you say it's a yes or no question.
Mhm.
No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Another do-over. And Sarah, don't say yes, please, because do as if she did not say it yet. Okay?
Okay.
Okay?
So
This is the invitation. Will you do that?
yes.
Yes, I will.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay. So Sarah, the last couple of times you started your questions with the word maybe. Did you notice this?
Yes, I notice.
My proposal is to just skip the word and start with your question. Will you do this?
Yes, I try.
Okay.
What is trying? You let her slip. You let her slip. You let her grab and slip. Did you see this? Like, what? It's like when this pen
already like
is
that.
laying on the floor, and I
Yeah.
try to pick the
Yeah.
pen. I'm doing like this,
Yes.
and I'm not picking it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I'm trying. I
Yeah.
will. Okay. So
Yeah. So will you do it?
Yes, I do the experiment.
deal. Great. Hmm.
I have a
So
logistic question, and I'm just noticing we have a couple of space.
yes,
My
go ahead.
question is, I'm not, I was looking and I couldn't find the dates of like our March time. And I have a memory of skipping 2 weeks in March. Is that true?
No, it changed. There's one week we skip because before it was orientated towards the Brazilian people, and they would have the ETB in the lab. That's why there was this gap. But now there's only 1 week because I already planned something in between, so I could shrink it to 1 week in between. So I will send again the dates. I think I'm in the first posts. They are all of them, and
Okay.
I resend it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am
And
attending the women's lab, and so I am unavailable on the 20th for certain. And so I just am saying that because
so
I
on
don't
the
know.
21st, there's a session.
On the 21st of March, that's a Thursday.
March, sorry. No, so you're not there on the last. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm unavailable on the 20th for sure. So I just wanted to speak that now.
Okay.
And possibly the 13th as well, because I'll be traveling, but
The
we'll see.
13th is there's nothing.
Okay.
So
So
this is the free week. So
okay,
enjoy your
then I will-
traveling.
yeah. Well, I won't be there on the 20th. So just
Okay. That's a shame. The wrapping up.
that's the last one.
It's the last one on the 20th.
Okay. Well, I'm
It's
glad
the
I brought
last
this
one.
up. Is it possible? I will be in the women's lab, which is why I will not be there. I have a proposal to have our last call the 27th so that I could be there on the last one and or on the 21st. I would like to be there for the last call, and I'm curious if anyone has resistance to changing the date so that I could be there.
So what about, yeah, like checking now or send a proposal. If it goes fast, then like I'm checking my calendar.
I will check the calendar and check the my travel dates, and I will send some proposals.
Yeah. So
to the calendar or in our Telegram.
I could also be there. And I think then Katrin, you could also be there, right? Yeah, Katrin would also be not here.
Yeah.
So I would have a yes for the 21st, and then, but you send the proposal, Sydney.
I will.
No,
Perfect.
I can't on the 21st.
I'll
Okay.
send the proposal on the Telegram.
Yeah.
And
Great.
I'll send a few rather than just
Yeah.
one for options.
Thank you. Super. And for next week, please be punctual. And that's it. Like there will be a surprise coming up. And have a space where you have good internet as usual. There's no noise. You can have your mic open the whole time. So this is important. Cool.
Do we have to lie on the ground or something like that? Then
No.
Yeah.
It could be
Not for
difficult
next.
for me because my son will be with me. There are holidays and also other family members are here. He can be with them, and I want to attend, but I cannot completely say there will never be an interruption for me.
Do your best, Volker.
Yes.
And I recommend to have like then a headset and that you have your space.
Yes.
Cool. Super.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. See you next week. And
Thank
I
you.
send you
Bye-bye.
Ciao, goodbye.
some experiments.
See you next
Goodbye.
week.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.